Good morning everybody. Today we'll discuss regarding the some parts of the respiratory system which is very important for you. As we have finished regarding the lungs, in human being we have got two lungs, that is the right lungs and the left lungs. Each lungs has been divided into two lobes by the oblique fissures into upper lobe and the lower lobe. For the right lung there is another fissures, that is the horizontal fissures, which dissects the lungs in one more lobe. So we have got three lobes for the right lung: upper lobe, middle lobe and the lower lobe. And for the left lung we have got two lobes, that is upper lobe and the lower lobe. We have also finished regarding the pleura and their distributions, and to some extent of the trachea. Today we will discuss regarding the bronchopulmonary segments, which is very important for you people. And this, before discussing these bronchopulmonary segments, we should recapitulate regarding the course of the trachea, that is the main windpipe, which started at the level of the sixth cervical vertebra and end at the level of the fourth thoracic vertebra in case of cadaver, and it may extend about up to the sixth thoracic vertebra in case of living person in standing conditions. So it is about 11 to 12 centimeter in length in case of female or the male, and the girth, internal diameter, is about 12 millimeter. It is about 3 up to the age of the 3, and as the age goes for each birthday it increases by 1 millimeter and reach about the 12 millimeter at the end of the 12 years. So this is the total length of the trachea, and the internal girth knowledge of the trachea is very important, particularly in case of anesthetist, to choose the endotracheal tube. And we should also know for the same, because sometimes you have to assist the anesthetist to supply the proper numerical endotracheal tubes to them. Now what happens is that the nature has beautiful adaptive changes to cope up with the external forces. So trachea has been made up of C-shaped hyaline cartilages, and it is in due course it is C-shaped and deficient in the posterior aspects, which has been filled up by the smooth muscles, that is the trachealis, and in between the two C-shaped cartilage there is the fibroareolar tissues, or the fibrous tissues are present, and in the lowermost part you have seen it is a V-shaped cartilages, which is also hyaline in nature, here where the trachea divides into two principal bronchus, and this part is called the carina. It is the most sensitive part of the trachea. When any obnoxious materials has been inhaled within the tracheal tube, it has been coughed out, and through the help of this sensitive part and also the mucociliary barriers residing within the respiratory epithelium of the trachea, which is the pseudostratified columnar epithelium, and this is the most sensitive part which is responsible for the coughing out of this obnoxious particle. Now after dividing into two principal bronchus, that is the right bronchus and the left bronchus, the trachea goes to supply the lung tissue after entering through the hilum of the lungs. Okay, now this hyaline cartilage is nature's best choice to survive in the least nutritious. As you know, the cartilage receives the nutritions from the surrounding capillaries, and also this C-shaped cartilage of the trachea avoids for the constrictions of the tracheal tube. Now I have told you the tracheal tube divides into two principal bronchi, right bronchi for the right lung and the left bronchi for the left lung. Tracheal bronchi has two courses. One is the extrapulmonary courses, another is the intrapulmonary courses, and always it has been accompanied by the pulmonary artery, which is coming from the pulmonary trunk, and the pulmonary vein. Pulmonary artery usually present into the posterior lateral aspects of the segmental bronchi. Now pulmonary vein always present along the anteromedial aspects of the segmental bronchi. Here you have seen that we have got three lobes for the right lung: upper lobe, middle lobe, and the lower lobe. The pulmonary artery, after having an extra pulmonary course for the right lung, the right bronchus, which is about 250 degrees away from the midline, shoot off the first bronchus or the secondary bronchus from the right principal bronchus, which is above the pulmonary artery. So it terms as the ape-arterial bronchus. No such bronchi present in case of the left principal bronchus, because all the course of the secondary bronchus is it is always below the pulmonary artery. So for the both sides, after shooting of this upper bronchus of the right upper lobe, all are hypoarterial in courses. Now see, this ape-arterial bronchus arises about 2.5 centimeter away from the divisions of the principal bronchus, and it goes above to supply the upper lobe. It divides into three branches, forming the tertiary segments. One for the apical, another posterior, and another is anterior, and they are designated by some numericals, that is 1, 2 and 3. 1 for apical, 2 for posterior, and 3 for anterior. They destined to supply the respiratory bronchopulmonary segment. Now what is the bronchopulmonary segment? Bronchopulmonary segments is an independent lung unit segments which has been supplied by the respiratory bronchioles, and has been also they have been also supplied by individual pulmonary arterial branch, and they are roughly triangular in natures. From these pictures you can see they are roughly triangular in natures. These triangular natures mainly present in the peripheral part of the lung tissue. When it goes towards the hilum, it may become a little bit irregular in shape. Okay, so it has got one base and one apex. Apex always directed towards the hilum, through which the pulmonary artery enters, and each bronchopulmonary segments are divided by some fibroareolar tissue which has been occupied by the pulmonary vein. You see here, this pulmonary artery has been branches of the pulmonary artery enters through the apex of the bronchopulmonary segments, through which also the tertiary bronchus enters, but the veins are situated within the fibroareolar tissue which is inter bronchopulmonary segments positions. So these are intersegmental in positions, whereas the pulmonary artery are segmental in positions. These are a complete independent vascular units. for the nutrition to the bronchopulmonary parts as well for the aeration through the tertiary bronchus. Now, if any reasons arise to resect these bronchopulmonary segments, it is not a completely independent in situations, because you have seen here the drainage of two bronchopulmonary segments through a common two bronchopulmonary segments through a common pulmonary vein. So any resections occurs here, it creates a severe hemorrhage.